Barrier Fencing Supply is a fencing wholesaler and distributor based out of Supply, North Carolina. Whether you need fencing, fencing products, fencing accessories, or various other construction materials related to your fencing needs, we have the products you are looking for at today's most competitive prices around. Ask us today about bulk pricing packages. Call 910-269-8661. Contact us by email at sales@barrierfencingproducts.com. Barrier Fencing Supply, proud supporter of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast. Back to another inside edition of the Voice of Victory Lane podcast with Kip Thompson. We just heard from one of our big sponsors, Barrier Fencing Supply out of Supply, North Carolina. Super excited about having them be a huge part of our team. So thankful for what they do for us. And also tonight's show is brought to you in part by Atwell Exterior Services. Trevor Atwell and his gang out of Greenville, North Carolina, also huge supporters of our podcast show. All right, tonight we're going to jump right on in to our show. We're going to go down and check in Woodruff, South Carolina with Zach Mitchell. Zach, good evening and welcome to tonight's show.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just what a great weekend for you and the number 57 Longhorn and your team coming into Fayetteville Motor Speedway. The Wayne Gray Senior Memorial, 38 super late models from all over the Southeast inside the Carolina Bull Ring. $10,000 payday for you guys. A stellar performance and congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. It seems like we've got knocked down a lot this year, but, we've had a fast car and, we've been plucking away at it and just been working our tails off, and it finally paid off.
Yeah, it looks like to me with some of the bad luck that we've seen latter part of last year into this year, definitely maybe that monkey is off your back because, to have a field of cars like that behind you, it was a stellar performance. And, man, you went flag to flag. All 50 laps were the fast 57.
Yeah, man. My dad and Mike and Dalton and everybody, they put a fast hot rod up under me, and I can't thank them enough. Of course, all my sponsors, man. I couldn't do it without them, my wife. Like I said, man, we've had a really fast race car here the past month or so, and we hadn't capitalized on it, and we've had some bad luck and just had some things happen, and it's just really, somewhat out of your control. But, once again, it finally paid off this past weekend, and hopefully we can keep the momentum rolling.
Well, a lot of times people say hard work pays off, and you guys burn the midnight oil. You go back to the drawing board when things look bad. Hard work pays off, and man, it was payday for you and your team on Saturday, $10,000 to win. And so let's talk about the Fayetteville Motor Speedway. I know that you have been to the Fayetteville Motor Speedway when it was the old configuration, and now the new configuration with the bull ring around it. Let's talk about that racetrack, man, because all the drivers were talking about how good that track was. And yes, it did take a little bit of time through track prep during intermission, but it paid dividends, in the end, because it was a great service for you and all the guys behind you, all the classes behind you, and the fans saw an awesome show.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely a huge deal when you see racetrack promoters and they do take that time and they do put that effort out, and it seems like you go someplace and it's just like you got what you got, but once again, I mean, you do have to, give a pat on the back to the promoters and the guys that run the track that, that run these places and that do put forth the effort and, do want to produce a good race. And, like I said, we've run on it when it was the old configuration, and I definitely think the new style is way better, and I think it can produce some good racing.
Well, what we've seen through the latter part of 2022 season last year, our track crew kind of hit on something, and it's really, really done a big, huge turnaround for what guys get when they get on that track to run. I think, it's saving people on suspension. I think it's saving people on tires. Whenever you can go out, one of your support classes goes out and runs a 20-lap race, and the guy who wins the race, hey, we can run another race on these tires. And, at the end of the day, it kind of saves money and also gives fans what they pay for, an awesome stage for you guys to put on a performance, that they love to see week in and week out.
Yeah, you definitely, you owe it to the fans, really. They're spending their money too, to get in, and of course the racers, you got to pay it back to them too. They're also spending the money, and pretty decent racetrack there Saturday night, and I'm sure there's a couple things they may, could have done a little bit different, or they would have changed if they could do it again. But I mean, I didn't see any problem with it really. And, once again, man, just seemed to suit our race car too. And everything worked out in the end.
Yes, sir. Well, let's talk about what is left for 2023 for Zach Mitchell Racing. Hopefully, maybe we'll see you back in the Fayetteville Motor Speedway again in 2023. But what are you doing as far as, I know you may run a clash race here and there, or you might go run, a super race somewhere else. But also, now I see, if you look really in the Ultimate Super Late Model point standings, right now I think you're like in 7th place. But are you really kind of running for points, or are you just out kind of finding the races for the money?
No, we talked at the beginning of the year, man. We just it's decided we were just going to kind of pick and choose. And I know I've missed a couple ultimate races, but yeah, we just decided we're just going to pick and choose and kind of go where we want to. And no really set schedule, honestly. But once again, may get a wild hair and go somewhere, and you don't never know where we might show up.
Well, I know a lot of guys like to do that points racing deal. For you yourself, I know 4-time Ultimate Super Late Model Dirt Series champion. And but hey, it's your deal. You can do what you want to do and roll off and just kind of pick and choose where you go. And if you want to take a weekend off, which I doubt you will, but especially now that you get that momentum, because when you start talking about having bad luck like you've had, and man, we've had a fast race car, just can't get over that top. There's not a whole lot that a $10,000 win won't cure.
Oh, no doubt, man. You get that momentum going. You just got to keep riding it. Things like that don't come around, very easy. And, when you can get that momentum rolling, it's definitely a huge deal and huge confidence booster, and just helps you really.
Yeah, well, we had a great time Saturday night inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway for the Wayne Gray Senior Memorial. That's a real big annual event, that we have. And, man, it's one of the biggest crowds that I've ever seen at Fayetteville. I had the pleasure of being up top in the press box with Tommy Tedder and Wesley Outland as we called the race there. All the races all night long on Flow Sports. Great guys. Loved hanging out with Tommy and Wesley. And, man, it was a great show. And that's probably for you too, being at Fayetteville, because I know you kind of look around and see who's, how big the crowd is. That was a crowd.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it was, it's always cool to look up there and see all those fans in the stands cheering and, up out of their seats.
Yeah, that's what we do it for. We always talk about, we want to have the race cars and the race teams, man, but without our fans, it's really just no good. You know what I mean? And our fans really love the Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and we've gone in and we've started doing our fan interaction and appreciation, during the intermission and the downtime, and it seems to be a real big hit. And again, all of you guys who are watching tonight from Fayetteville Motor Speedway, on behalf of Zach Mitchell, myself, Kip Thompson, hey, thank you all for being there. Thank you so much for staying out with us because we know you saw a great race. Zach, if you want to thank the fans for coming, man, here's an opportunity for you to do that too.
Oh, no doubt. I always try to thank them, and we couldn't do it if it wasn't for them. They help pay the purse, and and also, I mean, just love to see those fans up there cheering, and whether they're cheering or booing or whatever they're doing, it's definitely a big thing to have them up there. And, I guess it just makes you try to step your game up a little bit better, really. And, but yeah, man, we couldn't do it without them, and we really appreciate them being up there.
So let's talk about what's up next for Zach Mitchell Racing in the Fast 57 out of Woodruff, South Carolina. Hey, Lakeview this weekend, Carolina Clash, 5,000 to win. Is that on your radar, or what's going on for you?
Yeah, we definitely talked about it. I know they've got as much rain as we have. I don't know if they'll get to do anything, but I haven't heard. Just kind of been looking at the radar a little bit. But yeah, that is in the reach, I guess, and we'll see what this weather does, and hopefully it'll clear on out, so maybe we can get something done.
Well, let's talk about the folks that help you behind the scenes, the people that help you in that shop, man. I know your dad's there all the time. Let's talk about the guys who help you on a weekly basis to be able to have a car that is in a spot to where you can park it in Victory Lane.
Oh, man, I got 3 or 4 guys that help me, and nobody's really full-time. We all work full-time jobs, but we always joke that this is their this is their full-time job, but because it seems like it is. But of course, my dad, man, I couldn't do it without him. He busted his tail, and he's busted his tail for me for past 20 years or however long I've been racing. And he like I said, I couldn't do it without him. Mike Foster, he's been helping me for probably 5 or 6 years now, and he works his tail off down there almost every night, and just doing something. Dalton Foster, that's Mike's son. He comes to the race with us, and and pops in at the shop when he can, and helps groove tires, buff tires, and put tires on, or make adjustments or whatever. And Tim Brock, man, he's been with me for a while now, and he helps me a ton. But of course, my wife, she she cleans truck and makes sure we have everything, and everything we need, all our snacks, because we're pretty big boys, and we love to eat, and we definitely appreciate her for that.
Hey, well, speaking about loving to eat and stuff like that, and I got no room to talk, but for a long, long, long time, and I kind of got the chuckling earlier today when I was looking on social media on your Facebook page. It's always been, Kid Quick. Can we now call him Mr. Quick? And I saw you said Kid Thick. I said, so maybe it's the snacks on the hauler.
Yeah, Trent Ivy put that on his Snapchat, that called me Kid Thick last year sometime, and I've had a lot of people give me a hard time about it, but yeah, I've had that nickname forever, and heck, I'm about 20. I'm actually fixing to be 28 next year, and and it's just people still call me that, but there ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, just leave it there, man. It's good, sounds good, and hey, it is kid at heart, and hey, a pretty fast, quick race car too. So let's give you another opportunity here too before we close out the show. We've talked about the guys who help you on a weekly basis, turning the wrenches, grooving tires, mounting tires. Let's talk about those sponsors that help pay the bills.
Oh, no doubt. Clearhood Incorporated, they've been with me ever since I started, and just paid a huge I owe them a lot for my whole racing career, really. And of course, my dad, financially, and SoCar Chemical, Clements Racing Engines. Man, there's so many people that help me, on this thing, and Rolling Pines Lawn and Landscaping. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but definitely Fox Shocks, and man, they've helped me turn my program around. Mark Tudor, he does shocks and all, and man, he's been a huge asset to me here lately, and I just gotta thank everybody that's on that car, whether they have a small tiny spot or a huge large spot, man. They all mean a lot to me, and I couldn't do it without each and every one of them.
Well, we want to tell you again, man, congratulations on a great big win. An overcoming, deficit, overcoming, bad luck. What a way to break out. Saturday night inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway for the Wayne Gray Senior Memorial, man, $10,000, man. Congratulations on the win. Hey, and thank you, man, for taking time to be on the show. We really appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the remaining part of 2023, even if you get to go to Lakeview this weekend. And beyond that, best of luck, and we hope to see you again inside the Fayetteville Motor Speedway before this year's over.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
All right, race fans, that is Zach Mitchell, driver of the number 57 Longhorn out of Woodruff, South Carolina. Again, he picks up the win in the Ultimate Super Late Model Dirt Series $10,000 payday at the Fayetteville Motor Speedway this past weekend. As we close out tonight's show, we're going to hear from Atwell Exterior Services out of Greenville, North Carolina. Hey, and as always, as we close out every single show, be on the lookout. We could be coming to a racetrack near you, and you could be who we're talking about next, right here on the Voice of Victory Lane podcast. Good night, everybody.
Atwell Exterior Services and Team Atwell ride with a winner. Congratulations to Trevor Atwell and the team at Atwell Exterior Services in Greenville, North Carolina. Atwell is the top-rated roofing and exterior renovations company in racing country, and Team Atwell has sponsored so many great racing teams for years. Ride with a winner on your roof or on the track. Atwell Exterior Services. Atwell Exterior Services and Team Atwell Racing. Ride with a winner.